Hey everyone, this is Heidi with Hush Hush Magazine, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about my attempt to create a podcast and how horribly it ended up going. So let's get into it. So, as some people might know, I'm experimenting with new forms of sharing content outside of my blog / magazine, and I started trying out YouTube last week, and at the same time, I decided to give podcasting a shot. Why? Because I love podcasts, and I know that my friends also enjoy them. So I thought it could potentially be kind of like a lower effort way to still engage with people, but still produce content and share what's on my mind. The app that I decided to use to do it is called Anchor. And the value prop is kind of like you have this one app, you can use it to record yourself and record yourself with other people, which is what I was trying to do. And then you can easily just have the audio, you can add in effects, music, stuff in the background, and then quickly upload it across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else that you want. So, and then the app is free too. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, free, I'll try it. And so I decided to try it out with a friend of a friend who I was basically going to interview about project management and also try to understand the difference between project management, product management, how he got into it, etc. And I think I will make a video on it, so stay tuned. That video will come soon, and I'll still try to make that a podcast of some sort. But in short, it ended up being a total disaster. I had a couple of issues. The first one was it took me a while to figure out how to record two people, like basically bring in two audio sources. But then eventually I figured out that there was a button in the middle that you could press, and then it would basically switch from recording you to showing you a link where you could actually invite other people. I forget what the feature is called right now, but they have that feature. And so when I saw it, I was like, okay, perfect, let's do it. I sent my friend the link, and then we just started talking, and it looked like it was recording. It had like this wavy animation going on. So I was thinking like, oh, this is good. And after a few minutes, it cut off, I think because a call came in on his end. And so it interrupted the stream. And so it ended up stopping or disconnecting or something. And I can't recall whether I saw an option to save. He said he didn't, and I don't remember seeing that. So I just assumed that it auto-saved, especially since we're in an era where a lot of things auto-save. I just assumed, okay, maybe it auto-saved. And then we just started recording again, and I assumed I would just be able to like piece that first section with the second section. The second section ended up being like almost an hour long. We were talking. And then at the end, I was like, okay, great. And then I ended it. And then I tried to find it. And it was that moment of like, psych. It wasn't there. I couldn't find it. It was gone. It like never existed. And then I tried to do a couple of fake episodes where I just recorded myself for a few seconds, and I did see the option to save come up, and I did see it prompt me to save it, add it to the podcast. But for some reason, that screen just didn't come up after I had recorded with my friend Lance. So I think the lesson learned here is to test out new apps and new features before you actually do like your actual recording or whatever it is, especially for podcasting. So I don't know, maybe I could have had like an audio backup, or maybe I could have just tried for like 5 minutes instead of doing like an hour straight up, just to see if it would work. But I also had friends that had been using Anchor and posting on Facebook that it was working pretty well for them. So I guess that's why I never suspected anything would be up. But as soon as I Googled like Anchor, like recording not saved, I saw a bunch of issues, a bunch of other people reporting the same problem. So definitely not just me experiencing it. So all that's to say, Anchor is probably an okay app. I mean, I know a lot of people are using it. I've seen a lot of good press around it. And so that's why I thought it would be a good option. But if you want to do kind of like an interview or two-sided conversation, definitely recommend that you try it out for just a minute or two first to see if it will save before actually deep diving into your whole freaking podcast and losing an hour's worth of content. You guys know how time consuming content creation is, so it's definitely not ideal. I'm also curious if anyone has any other recommendations. I feel like now that I tried this app, which was so highly recommended and had this experience, now I'm like super unsure how to proceed and not sure who I can trust anymore. Or what app I can actually trust to do that kind of two-sided conversation. I'm considering maybe doing something on iMovie, but I feel like that'll be kind of manual and I don't really I'm lazy. So I'm not really trying to be editing audio for like hours and hours or even an hour. So yeah, if anyone has any tips, let me know. In the meantime, stay tuned and that content will come out shortly. See you guys.